America is deeply divided. There are only two sides to every issue, and there is no interest in finding common ground, not even with members of your own family. But as the 2024 presidential election looms on the horizon, there has never been a more important time to have the necessary conversation.
Hello, and welcome to the Necessary Conversation. I'm Chad Kultgen. With me, as always, is my sister Haley, fellow lefty, and my parents, Mary Lou and Bob, who are deep in the QAnon conspiracy pit, deep Trump supporters. We're going to be talking about 4 political issues this week, and there are some doozies this week, of course. But first, before we begin, Dad, we have to mention, on January 29th, you said a nuclear weapon would be used in Ukraine within 30 to 40 days. We are 70 days past that prediction. No nuke. Has your prediction failed? Will you admit you're wrong?
No.
Will you admit you're wrong about anything?
No.
All right. Let's move on. We are going to begin today with a question from a listener. This is a question sent from Beth W. It's short. It's to the point. I think it's addressed basically to me and Haley. Does it hurt your feelings when your dad calls you things like, in quotes, fucking idiot or dumb shit? I know you laugh it off on the podcast, but does that bother you in the long run? Thanks for having these necessary conversations. My husband and I really enjoy listening. Beth W. Haley, does it bother you?
It doesn't. I don't know. Like, we just grew up this way. I kind of learned to not take it personally. It doesn't bother me. No.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me either. I think it probably might have when I was a kid. Now I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it is a strange way for a parent to speak to their child. That is for sure. And
it's terms of endearment. Jesus.
All right. We'll see how many terms of endearment we get over the course of this episode. Now let's begin. Like I said, we had some thank you, by the way, for that question from Beth W. If anybody else wants to send in a question, just send an email to TheNecessaryConversationPod@gmail.com. I go through all those emails and I put some of the best questions here.
I got 2 rant comments to start with.
Okay. Please.
Ready?
Yeah.
Ready? Okay. The dumbest human being in America is the big fat black guy from New York who's going to go down the tubes. Mm-hmm. And the second dumbest person.
Why mention his weight or race?
Well, because he's black and he's fat. Uh-huh. They're both facts.
Okay. So then you'll be happy to call Donald Trump fat as well.
No, he's not fat. He's not as fat as that black guy.
Okay.
And on top of that, you didn't let me finish. The only person in America dumber than that fat black man is the pygmy they bring out on the stage every day at a press conference and show her ignorance to be over the top.
The
and
pygmy?
She's nothing but an ignorant pygmy.
Pierre.
Okay.
The press secretary.
Yep.
Ignorant pygmy.
Okay.
All right. Well, none of the people you just mentioned were arrested on 34 felony counts.
And neither will Trump be.
No, Trump was. That is our first topic. Trump was arrested.
And
that
it will
happened.
never come to court, dumbass.
No.
There's
Okay.
number one. Dumbass.
Number 1, Trump, Donald Trump was arrested. This beautiful, svelte, athletic man, Tuesday of last week, saw for the first time in U.S. history a former president surrender to law enforcement to be arrested. Trump faces
by a fat black guy who's
34 felony counts for falsifying New York business records through a catch
fat black guy dumber than dog
designed
shit.
to conceal damaging information and unlawful activity before the 2016 election. He pleaded not guilty to all 34 counts. Hours after leaving the New York City court, Trump returned to Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, where he delivered a speech listing multiple grievances from Tuesday's arrest and last year's FBI search at Mar-a-Lago over classified records to President Joe Biden's son and losing the 2020 election. In quotes, this fake case let me start again.
This fake case was brought only to interfere with the upcoming 2024 election that it should
If this is your new career, you better stop.
Immediately.
He said. Hours before Trump arrived to turn himself in, groups of both supporters and protesters assembled at a small park near the courthouse. So Mom was right about that. There were supporters out there for him. Among them were Republican lawmakers Marjorie Taylor Greene and George Santos, who joined the pro-Trump side. What's that?
Love, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Well, we're going to get to her in just 1 second. Trump was required to provide fingerprints, but was not subjected to a mugshot or handcuffs. A person familiar with the matter said that the decision was ultimately made by Bragg's office. That didn't stop the Trump campaign from creating its own Trump mugshot to raise money. However, within minutes of the former president being processed, his 2024 campaign team put out its own, in quotes, mugshot with a picture of Trump over a not guilty banner in a fundraising email. Campaign officials said Trump had $10 million in donations since the indictment last week.
Mom paid in.
I got one coming. Go ahead.
The judge also did not order a gag order, meaning that Trump can speak freely about the case without concern about repercussions in court. Now, before we get into the questions, I want to play just a quick, very quick, it's like a 20-second long audio clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is what she said in reaction to all the stuff going on with Trump.
Time to get mean.
President Trump is joining some of the most incredible people in history being arrested today. Nelson Mandela was arrested, served time in prison. Jesus was arrested and murdered by the Roman government. There have been many people throughout history that have been arrested and persecuted.
Okay, so she's likening him to Jesus and Nelson Mandela because he's been arrested. Let me just ask you this.
Good call.
Do you think Trump is in any way like Jesus Christ on this Easter Sunday? We are recording this on Sunday, or Nelson Mandela?
I don't think he's anything like Nelson Mandela.
Okay.
And Jesus is too fucking old for me to tell you.
No, he's going to save us. He will be our savior.
So you disagree with Marjorie Taylor Greene?
No.
I said he's going to be our savior.
I just said I can't disagree or agree.
Okay. Let me just give you a quick list of some other people who were arrested and persecuted.
She
What
right
the
on
fuck
the money.
was that?
That's their
That
new
was us telling
verbal
you to shut
attack.
the fuck up.
It was like in person. God.
Hey,
what
hey,
was
and you two idiots, there's number two. The war has just begun.
Okay, we're not ready for
Okay,
that yet.
let me
Wait a
just give
minute.
you another list of some other people that she failed to mention who have also been arrested. Jeffrey Dahmer, Jeffrey Epstein, the Unabomber, the BTK killer, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy.
And
Why?
how about the transgendered bitch that got killed last week?
Okay. Well, she didn't
She
get
would have
arrested.
been arrested also.
Didn't get arrested, though. Went out in death by cop.
That was not a hate crime.
Got put down where she should be.
Okay,
Okay.
let me tell you this.
Or
though.
it or whatever the fuck it is.
I do have a Trump a mug shot t-shirt coming. Yes, I cannot. I wished I could have had it on today, but it's coming.
Okay,
with the
congratulations. Now, let's get beyond the lunacy here and ask some serious questions.
Well, lunacy.
Okay, stop.
You're the
You guys are
lunacy.
literally going blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah,
you're-
in
That's
unison.
because you're
to
too
my face.
loony.
Okay, go.
All right,
you have
so
to
we're
be,
gonna.
You have to
let me-
be put in your place. Hey,
All right.
free speech is back.
Okay.
Pygmy.
Okay.
That's what she is, a pygmy.
All right.
Oh, we'll get into freedom of speech in the very next topic. Rest
Yeah.
assured. But we're still on this topic right now. So, Haley, do you think Trump is going to be found guilty of any one of these 34 felony counts?
No.
that?
Won't even go to trial.
Yeah, I do. I think he's gonna go to jail. I actually think it's gonna happen.
In your dreams.
I do.
Well, I mean, that's another thing. If he gets
Then
found
our
guilty,
whole-
does he go
our
to jail
whole-
or not?
What jail?
I
That jail
think
will go down in smoke.
if it was ever gonna happen, it's gonna be now. So I guess I'm
Not gonna happen.
wishful thinking. Nothing has ever transpired from this, so I'm hopeful.
That's
I don't
'cause
know
you haven't
though.
done
I'm
anything.
hopeful.
Now, Dad,
That
you
black
said if
man, it's stupid.
Okay.
now you said, Dad, if he goes to jail, the jail will go down in smoke. What does that
That's
mean?
right. That will be the first sign the war has started.
They
You
will
believe
not.
People will
I
attack
believe-
the jail and burn it to the
I
ground.
believe death will happen
Yes.
immediately.
Okay. Now, do you think the people who stormed that jail will be better than the people who stormed the Capitol building?
Nope, same
It'll
people,
be the
same
same.
great.
Same
patriots.
people, same result, which was
Same
not
great
great. They
patriots.
didn't.
No, it
nothing
won't be.
happened. Smear a
Won't
little
be-
shit on
won't be
Trump's
the
prison
same-
cell wall.
Won't be the same result. There'll be dead people, and there'll be
People
Democrats.
died in that.
And there'll
Okay.
be Democrats.
Now, wait a minute. You're saying that people are going to storm the jail where Trump is held and kill the Democrats in the jail?
No, they're going to kill the FBI or whoever's holding them because they're in the state. They are in deep, and they are no good people for the United States of America, and they must go.
Wait, though, so they're going to
think
bring
anybody. I
Sorry,
don't
go
think anybody really gives a shit about Trump as much as they used to anymore. I think it's
Oh,
yes,
faded.
they
you're
do.
totally wrong.
I really
At
don't
ti-
think any of this will happen. Nobody gives a shit.
$10 million raised for his campaign within
We'll
what?
see who gives a
2
shit.
days? 10
Nobody has the
million?
balls to do what you're saying. You guys aren't doing it.
Oh, yes,
You
they
guys
do.
aren't doing it.
You know what the
Are you going to go
problem is?
bust into the prison and fucking start capping people? You're
Here's
not
your
doing
problem.
that.
Here's your problem. You guys have been sitting there with your thumb in your ass for so long. You think this is just going to keep going on and on and on. No.
Are you doing this?
the
Are you going
pushback-
to fucking put your goddamn 6-shooters on and go
Yes.
kill people? Are you
Yes.
doing this?
You're right now
Now,
claiming.
now I don't have to. I don't have to until they arrest Trump. They're never going to arrest Trump.
Okay, we're going to follow this theoretical
Trump's
situation out.
never
They
going to
arrest
jail.
Trump. They arrest Trump and they put him in jail in New York City.
He will not make it to jail. People
Okay.
will start shooting.
We will take to the streets, even here in Oklahoma City.
What do you mean?
will.
What are
And
you
if
going to do
you're-
in Oklahoma City? Who are you going to
If you're
shoot?
a Democrat, you're going down.
And how do you determine if somebody's a Democrat?
Just the way I think they smell.
With
Jesus,
the
Mom,
signs they
you better not
hold.
have any Democratic-leaning perfume on that day. Jesus.
That's correct.
With the signs they hold and what they chant.
No
You
one's
know-
doing shit. No one is fucking doing shit.
Yeah,
Bullet
Definitely
to-
not in Oklahoma
Bullet
City.
to the head. That's what they're
He
going to
is
get.
not
No one
going
is
to
doing
jail.
shit.
No,
It's red or dead. Woke is broke.
he will not go to jail. They are too scared to do that because that will be the Civil War.
Red or dead. Woke is broke.
Now, when
Okay.
you say the Civil War, and we've been over this a little bit before, what do you think that is? Where do you think the United States military falls on this? Because that's what
Oh,
a
I
Civil
think
War
that-
is.
I think the actual military is going to be on our side. I think the General Millies of the world, he's nothing but a it anyway.
Oh my
Okay, Jesus Christ.
God. Don't.
All right, let's move on to this question. What will happen if he is found guilty other than the Civil War? And I'm talking specifically about what will the ramification of his election be?
Oh, he's
He'll
going to be
win.
reelected.
He will win.
We're just going to take over the country. You guys will have anything to say about it. You're speechless. You have no voice. You have no vote.
And you believe that that is how America should be run?
Yes, as of right now, yes.
Dictatorship, plain
Yes.
and simple.
Yes.
Not
get
a government
rid-
for the people, of the
Get rid
people,
of
by the
left
people.
side. You have to get rid of the left side, and if that means exterminate them, that means exterminate them.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Very un-American. I did not expect to hear that from you. Definitely goes against the Constitution and all American principles.
Mhm.
But
They-
I
they
guess
ha-
that's where you stand at this point.
No,
No, that's
they
what
have
they've
us
already
really
done
mad. They have us really upset now and mad.
And now we're going to fight.
to try to do that to him on the charges that aren't even
I'm
there.
retired. I got nothing to look
But
for.
you have, you're talking about they've got us really upset and really mad and all this stuff. Have you ever been this mad about politics in your life?
No.
No, this
Right.
is our country that we want to
Right.
save.
But let me just throw something out there. I know that you think that this is all really happening. Could it be that organizations like Fox News, Newsmax, MSNBC, all of these giant media companies, they profit off of you being mad and outraged and staying glued to their news
Until
screen?
I put a bullet in their fucking head.
You're going to
But-
kill everybody at Newsmax now? I don't understand
No,
what the
not
strategy is yet.
Newsmax.
But that's what I'm saying.
MSNBC.
No, but all of these cable news
I wouldn't mind
companies-
taking a few of them down.
Who
all
was
of-
the station that wouldn't even broadcast him being what was his speech after he went back down to Florida? There was a station that said, we'll decide.
Rachel, the big boy Maddow,
Yeah, we'll
the
decide.
transgendered queen of all shit.
I
We'll
don't think she's
decide.
transgender, but
I don't know what she is. She doesn't know what she is.
We'll decide whether
Yeah.
the
She's
information.
a girl. She's a girl who wished she had a penis.
Oh God.
okay.
We'll decide whether the information is of importance or if he's just spewing the same things he does
Okay.
before we put it
Why
on the
does
air.
that make you mad? There's 100 other stations you can watch that does cover it.
Because
we do.
that is
You
not
don't even
right.
like MSNBC. Who
That
cares?
is not right.
But
That's
this
right.
level of anger and outrage you have at all this is designed by these media companies.
Oh, we're
keep
being
you watching.
manipulated.
Yes,
We're being
you are.
manipulated. But you know what's funny? You're never manipulated because you're too
We
smart
all are.
for it.
No,
You're
we
an
all are
idiot.
manipulated. Everything
Number
we buy,
5.
everything we watch, it's all
Number
a manipulation.
Idiot.
I'm not saying
But
I'm above it. I'm saying I
like,
just recognize it. Where you
like
guys
at least
don't.
at least
Oh,
New-
we do. And
Be-
we're going to stop it.
at least Newsmax does carry both sides, because they were showing
What?
Trump in New York with
Yeah.
the protesters,
You ever watched it? Fuck no.
Yes.
with the protesters, and also with the people for him. They were asking questions to both sides that day. I
Uh-huh.
freaking saw it on TV.
All right. Well, there you have it. Newsmax is
You're going to have to
the
side.
documented
Impartial.
record. All right, let's move on to our next topic. We are talking about the Tennessee Three.
Yeah.
Three, yes,
Idiots.
that's correct. All right. The 3 Tennessee House Democrats led a protest in the House chamber earlier this week in the wake of the Christian school shooting in Nashville that left 6 dead, including 3 children. A white female lawmaker, Gloria Johnson, and 2 black men, Justin Jones and Justin Pearson, quickly became known as the Tennessee Three as they chanted, "Do your job, no action, no peace, and enough is enough," along with gun control advocates, and used bullhorns during a protest that filled
And
the
they got
Tennessee
their
House
ass
gallery.
kicked out of Congress.
In response, the largely white and male Republican supermajority voted on Thursday
Yay.
to expel 2 of the 3 Democrats, overriding the will of thousands of voters in an unprecedented act of retaliation to silence their opponents. The 2 that were removed, Justin Pearson and Justin Jones, are both black and under 30. After the expulsions, the Tennessee
stupid.
GOP tweeted that it was a, in quote, sad day for Tennessee. This body has determined formal expulsion of 2 of its members in the path forward after they led disrespectful and deliberate efforts to disrupt the business of the House. As hashtag Tennessee Three trended on social media, the Republicans tried but failed to get a new hashtag going, Tennessee Me. On Friday, Vice President Harris made a surprise visit to Nashville to meet with the lawmakers, and President Biden spoke to them on a conference call to invite them to the White House in the near future and thank them for their leadership on gun control. Jones and Pearson represented a constituency of more than 140,000 people who now do not have representation. The Nashville Metropolitan Council will name Jones's replacement, and local leaders say they plan to vote Monday to reinstate Jones to his seat. Shelby County leaders are weighing whether they can reinstate Pearson. First question. They engaged in a lawful protest.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. Should they
No,
be?
they did not.
Yes, they did.
It's against the rules.
That doesn't mean unlawful.
And it means you can be expelled from the body because you
All right.
broke the rules.
So we know your answer to this question.
it up
Should they
your
have been
ass.
expelled? You say yes. Mom, should they have been expelled?
Yes, that was
Haley.
insane how they did
No.
it. I watched it. Insane.
How many, let me ask you this. How many children have to get killed by mass shooters before you and dad would allow a breaking of the rules to be okay?
Oh, that's a low cut.
Children, huh?
I already told you how
A
we
low
need to
How many
cut.
children need to
solve
get
that
shot?
Dad's
problem.
already
I
used
don't know how
homophobic
many more-
slurs
how
today
many
in the first 10 minutes. A
How
low
many,
cut.
how many transgender people are going to do some more shooting? Fuck, I don't know.
I already told you how to
They
solve.
busted another one who's getting ready to do it.
I
Okay.
already told you how to solve that problem. I wish someone would listen to me in regard to
Right.
Shoot
security.
them when they come in the door.
But you
security
understand the
around people.
protest that the Tennessee Three were leading was in response to this mass shooting that killed children. Don't you think walking into
No.
the House gallery with a bullhorn to try and
No.
get some movement on this issue is warranted?
That's
No.
not the way to do it.
Okay.
Pass the
But
law.
storming the fucking White House is.
They didn't.
Who's
Yeah, and
storming the
look what
White
you
House?
guys did to
Hey,
our
whoa,
people
whoa.
that walked in there.
Wasn't the White House anyway, asshole.
Look how they walked in there peacefully, and look where they are
Peacefully?
in prison.
They
Yes.
shattered windows. They attacked
Oh
people.
my God. But BLM burned down half the fucking state
I knew it
of
was going to get to
Washington.
BLM. I knew it was going to get to that. It was pretty quick.
It's
That
all
was
about the
3 minutes.
BLM. Most corrupt
For you it
fucking piece
is.
of shit in
I
the
think
world.
the Tennessee Three should be in jail for
Yes.
the way that they
Okay.
did what they did.
Locked up in a dungeon. Bread and
But
water.
like just
Okay.
the 2 black guys or the white woman
No.
as well?
All
White
of them.
woman too.
Now
All
you're
of
talking
them.
about
Arrested.
lock them up in a dungeon.
Yes.
Let me
Bread and
ask you
water.
again. There was something you mentioned earlier. It was called freedom of speech. Protest is speech.
Right.
Do they have it or do they not? Should they be locked up in a dungeon for
They
exercising
have,
their right
they
to
have
free
freedom
speech?
of speech. in bodies where the rules don't apply. In this case,
What?
the rules apply that they can't have a bullhorn.
I'm
and
not
raise
talking
hell
about
during a meeting.
right. Okay, so
So
why
that
should they
means
be put in a dungeon, per your own words?
Because they broke the rules.
He meant prison.
Right, but
So then
this is
Donald
not
Trump-
an illegal act.
No,
They broke the
It's
rules
illegal.
of Congress. It is not a crime.
yeah, it is. In that
No,
state,
it's
a crime.
not. It
Yes, it
is
is.
not.
And then they got booted for nothing,
Yes, correct.
Yes,
What was the
pretty
crime?
much.
It's
You.
racism.
according to you. Oh, it's racism. Oh, here comes the race card. The biggest
Ooh.
racists in America are blacks. Get over it.
Get over it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not.
Blacks
don't
are
agree
the
with
most
you.
racist pieces of crap on earth.
All right. Would you be okay if Democrats start doing this to Republicans in all the supermajorities in
They already
different
have, you
state
stupid
congresses?
asshole. That's what
Okay.
they've been doing.
What do you have any examples of that?
Sure. Capitol, the January 6th Capitol. Perfect example.
Who was expelled from Congress?
Nobody expelled from Congress.
So it didn't happen then.
No, but everybody got locked up that was at the protest.
Put him
So
in
again,
jail.
you said that this is happening all
Dungeons.
over the country. Do you have one example
Dungeons.
of a time that Democrats have done this to Republicans?
Sure. Many.
I'm waiting.
Well, we'll figure it out. I'll go look it up. There's probably dozens of them in
There
states.
aren't.
Oh, you don't
This
know
what
that.
has happened is unprecedented.
Oh, it's unprecedented.
Yes.
Yes. So's the Trump bullshit.
Huh?
Yeah. Let me tell you something, son.
Okay.
Okay, Dad.
You have now pissed off the people who will.
Me? How
fucking
have I
kick
pissed
your ass.
anyone off?
You have.
By doing what? What do you? Why is it
All
being
you
singled
fucking
onto me now?
left-wing Democrats have now crossed the line, and we're going to fight back.
What does any of this mean? You constantly
Doesn't
are
mean
talking
anything
about
to you.
the Civil
Hey,
War
you
is
know what?
coming and you want to fight
You
in
know
it and all
what?
this
It
shit.
doesn't mean a damn thing to you until you get that gun stuck up your ass, and it's coming.
Who do you think's gonna stick the gun up my ass?
Hell, it might be me.
Okay, Jesus Christ. Well, happy Easter to everybody.
You seem extra angry today.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's unchained. Retirement is treating him well.
I'm
We'll
done.
get to that in a
I
moment.
don't have to worry about you bullshit anymore. Freedom of speech. Go fuck yourself.
Oh my God.
No more holding back on the racism in America that is 99% caused by black people.
I don't
no
understand
more holding
still why
back.
you think that, I guess, but you don't
Well, it's
believe
not
that.
because I think it is a fucking fact of life.
Well, it's not a fact of life. You believe
is
it
a
to be
fact of
true.
life. is
Many
a
other
fact of
people,
life.
myself included, do not.
Oh, you
Okay. I want to get back to this Tennessee Three thing, though, especially where you're saying that race is not why they were expelled. You don't
No.
think that was the cause?
No, is their big fucking mouth.
It was their mouth with the bull.
They think because they're black, they can say whatever the fuck they
But-
want, and they can't.
Of the Tennessee Three, one of them was a 60-year-old white woman. She was
Yeah.
not voted to be expelled.
Yeah.
It was the way in which they did it.
And what was
We
that
don't
way?
give- we
With
don't
black
give a
skin?
Hey, we don't give a rat's ass. The race card's been played until it's fucking blue in the face, and blacks are gonna regret the fact that they brought that shit up. You watch and see if I'm not right.
Brought that shit. What are you talking about? Brought that shit up. It's happening. It exists. Systemic
No.
racism is fucking real. You're watching it happen in this
No, we're not.
Tennessee Three issue.
No, we're not. That's not systemic racism.
Then why was she not expelled? Why was it just them? For what
Well,
reason?
maybe she said she was sorry. Forgive me.
Was
She
she on the
didn't.
bullhorn?
All right.
Yes,
Whatever.
they all did the
Oh.
exact same thing.
We're
The
good.
two black guys under 30 expelled. The 60-year-old
Gone.
white woman
Good.
not.
Good
But
fucking deal.
what is your reason for why?
Why?
I think they
Yeah.
were on the
Because they're
bullhorn.
assholes.
I think they
And they
let
shouldn't
it.
be representing anybody.
I think they let it. We're on the bullhorns.
But they were voted to represent their constituents. And
Yeah.
now
Now
Those-
it's too damn bad.
their districts have no one in the
There
house.
you go. Guess what's happening?
I think it's the crumbling of democracy.
No, I think it's the fight back to put democracy back in place, because we have been systematically trying to change America because of Barack fucking Obama, and we're not going to take it anymore.
Okay, I want to go to an ideological part of this conversation because I think this is getting lost. There are these two sides, the left, the right, however you want to position that, liberal, conservative, however you want to position it, whatever you want to call it. America, the idea of it is that everybody can come together with opposing viewpoints and you work out some middle ground. That's what the two-party system is about in America.
Yeah, and there is none, because the Democrats want a one-party system and call it communism.
Socialism.
And you want one and call it what? Authoritarianism?
No, Americanism.
Why would Biden and Horseface go fly down there?
Let me ask you this. You want a country that you've lived in for the last 150 or 200 years, or do you want fucking Soviet Union and China? That's
Neither.
your choice, you dumb son of a bitch.
You dumb son of a bitch. You're talking about having Trump, like last week you were talking about having Trump basically be a dictator. That is Russia. That is China.
It's not. No, it's not.
No. That's saving our America.
That's
the way
how
it
ignorant
was.
you are.
That's saving our America.
That's how ignorant you are.
But
No,
we
but-
don't
but-
want the America the way that it was. It
Oh,
was
okay.
fucking broken.
So everything that America stood for the last 200 years, you think is horse shit and should be erased. That
No,
is your
not
fucking
everything.
problem right there.
Not everything, no, but it
Oh,
certainly
not
wasn't
everything,
perfect.
Just the parts that are good for my little lefties.
No, but you're missing a key kind of
No,
point
you
of this.
are missing the point.
Just let me state this again. The idea of America is that all people are represented by whoever has been elected to their district, to Congress, to whatever the level of politics may be. And those people are supposed to bring the will of their individual constituents to their governing body.
But that's not what's happening.
I agree, and it hasn't been for a
Democrats
while. It's
are
deadlocked.
washing the system down
All
and
right.
turning it into
Just
socialism.
hang
Okay,
on.
we gotta
Just let me
get rid of them.
ask this question. Do you believe the American political system has room for, or should still hold in high regard, the idea that you can have opposing viewpoints in the same governing body and find a middle ground?
If that were the case, but that's not the case anymore. There's no
But
finding
don't you
any
think we
middle
should try to
ground.
get to that?
No, you'll never get to that because you guys have gone too far left.
Yeah.
Don't just for a minute. Don't blame the left and don't get mad at Biden.
I'm
None of that.
blaming
I'm
the left.
talking about an
There is no
ideological
minute.
thing here.
I'm
talking about what is democracy.
60 seconds of fame is over.
Huh? 60
Yeah,
seconds
huh?
of fame. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Democrats running this country. It's over.
I
Okay.
think that there were two sides, like you said, but we feel that the Democrats, the lefties, they're going to go and lie and cheat and steal and do anything they
Right.
can to get it their way.
Yes. And the
So-
left believes that of the right. Now, what is the truth here? The truth is we are all just fucking people and we have some different ideas about how to govern and what should be happening socially and whatever. And the best result is when we all come together, we talk about it, we find some middle ground, we give a
Never gonna
concession to
happen
the other
again.
party here, a concession to the other
It's
party
never
there.
going to happen
But
again.
why is that? Why do you now have this attitude? You already said it. You're more
Because what
mad
they've
about
done to
politics than
Trump.
ever. No,
I
but
think
listen,
because what
listen.
they've done to Trump.
They haven't done shit to Trump. The news media is telling you all this shit. He is telling you all this shit. The Democrats are also telling you shit. All of this is designed to enrage you.
It's working.
I know. Don't let it. That's what I'm trying to get to.
No,
Wait a minute.
you're not talking
Okay.
me out of this.
I
shit.
think
Okay,
there's
wait a
also
minute.
an element of mom and
There
dad,
will
like
be
just
blood.
they have an unwillingness to adapt, an unwillingness to bend. And like as time progresses, newer ideas,
Talking
new
about
shit is
us?
happening,
Who are
and
you
they're just
talking about?
completely fucking stunted.
Like these
Just
two
completely
retards
stunted.
Yeah.
are
Like
bending.
I want to go
They
back
have
to
the-
19
They have the willing to adapt.
they literally want to go back to like 1945, you know what I'm saying? Like
Certainly
the
there's
fucking
That at the very least, you have no ability to compromise. Like,
segregation.
when I read that thing in the beginning of every episode about how you made the nuclear war prediction and it hasn't happened, and I try to just get you to admit that that is a blown prediction. You were wrong about it, and you will not relent.
It's
You're
gonna
like, I
happen.
wasn't wrong. But it's
gonna
gonna happen. Fine. If it happens tomorrow, your prediction was still wrong. You were
So-
wrong.
So
You have
Here's-
this idea that like when you were growing up, it was an idealistic world. Maybe it was for you, but it certainly fucking wasn't for the rest of the people that were
Here's-
existing on this planet.
Here's what you said.
in what
me
ca-
talk.
in what country?
In the
You said-
United States of America,
Oh,
where you
fuck.
couldn't get abortions and you died in fucking alleys, where you were black and had to use a separate fucking water fountain, like name it, LGBTQ people fucking being murdered for being out.
Here's what
That's
you said,
not
Haley.
idealistic.
Here's what you said, that we want to go backwards or back in time the way it was. You know what I want to do? I want to get someone on the goddamn border, southern border, to stop all of the drugs, all of the cartel, all of that shit coming in. The way it was when Trump was our president. That's where I want to go back
Not
to.
1945.
We don't want to go back to whatever you said. That's ridiculous.
But you do.
No,
You
I
want
don't.
women to be fucking, subservient. You want black people to not be able to use your space. You want LGBTQ community
Hey,
members to
hey,
not
hey,
exist.
Yeah.
Hey,
Let me ask
don't
Dad.
put words in my mouth.
Okay, I'm
Don't
not. I'm
you
going to
put
ask you.
words in
I'm going to
my
ask you
mouth.
each a simple question, and I'm going to start with Dad. Dad, should black people be allowed to vote?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yes.
Curious.
What the
Just curious how you'd
kind of
answer.
question is that?
All right, we've gotten our craziness maybe out of the way. It's been a very heated debate. Let's simmer down a little bit now.
What kind of question was
those-
that?
Listening, my dad has retired this week. Congratulations, Dad. How has your first week of retirement been?
Up till now, okay.
All right. What did you get up to? What'd you spend your time doing?
Sleep.
That's good. So you're catching
I
up on
haven't
some
slept in 40 years, so I'm sleeping.
sleep? He's the opposite of Rip Van Winkle. All right.
That's the truth. He got up at 4 a.m. every morning, out the door at 4:45. And you know what? His retirement has taught us you can always learn something in life, whether you're 2 years old, 1 year old, or 100. It taught me who our real friends were, who the fake friends were, who you trusted that you thought were your friends and were not. It taught us a lot.
Taught you who your
And it
enemies
also
were,
taught
basically.
me at the end of our lives, no one's going to be there but our family. Because the people you
Me
work
and
for
Mom.
Unless you put a gun up their ass.
don't give a shit.
Well, then they won't be around, will they?
You'll just be partying with our money. Yep, they died. Let's go have a party.
Now, like you said, Dad, you've been working nonstop 40 years, no sleep. In this week, did you check any of the websites and stuff that you used to check for your work? Is there anything that you're still doing that's even remotely work related?
Zero.
Nope.
You
He
just cold
told
turkeyed
me-
it. Wow, that's
Yes,
fantastic.
He in fact told me, when I quit, I will quit. I said, so you won't like do a little
Day
trading on
trade.
the side for us or
Mhm.
anything? Nope. He said, when I quit, that'll be it. And he has.
That's
And
awesome.
it's weird. It's weird walking by that door, that computer room where he sat and would trade from the house and not see him in there. It's very weird. Yeah.
And so now what are you thinking about doing with your time moving forward?
Sleeping.
Horsey love.
Oh, horse. Yeah.
All
Go
right.
out to the barn. We have
And
people
nothing
that are
else?
very nice there.
You going to pick up a hobby or anything?
No.
He's going to walk with me.
Okay. So some exercise, some communing
Yes.
with nature, some animal husbandry.
Yes.
All right. Fantastic.
Some war.
Right. I forgot. You also have to kill a lot. All right. Well, no, that's great. Congratulations. I'm glad that it's going well. I'm glad you were able to just cut the tie with work altogether. I think it's a good thing.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
And so I thought maybe Dad would want to add something there. Maybe not. And let's move on. That was our simmer down. Now let's get it back into the heated topics. Our third topic for today is Texas and the abortion pill. Last Friday, a Trump-appointed U.S. District Court Judge, Matthew Kacsmaryk, in Amarillo, Texas, where we all used to live, ruled to suspend the FDA's approval of mifepristone. What is this called? I don't know. But it's 1/2 of 2 drugs used together to cause an abortion, virtually banning the sale of the pills across the country. The Biden administration immediately filed an appeal, delaying, at least for now, the impact on hundreds of thousands of patients who use the medication for both abortions and treating miscarriages. The judge's decision includes language commonly used by anti-abortion advocates describing the intent of the pill as one to, in quotes, kill the unborn human, referring to abortion providers as, in quotes, abortionists, and describing the, in quotes, intense psychological trauma of people who use the pills and then see, in quotes, the remains of their aborted children. Roughly a quarter of states have banned nearly all abortions in the 8 months since Roe v. Wade was overturned. But this decision has the potential to affect pregnant people across the country, including in Democratic-controlled states that have prioritized abortion access. The pills, which the FDA approved for use in the first 10 weeks of pregnancy more than 2 decades ago, recently became the most common method of abortion in the United States and a way many people have circumvented state bans since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade last June. In a statement Friday, rightful President Joe Biden said, if this ruling were to stand, then there will be virtually no prescription approved by the FDA that would be safe from these kinds of political ideological attacks. But my administration will fight this ruling. Some abortion providers have announced that they plan to pivot to prescribing just the second pill in the 2-pill regimen, misoprostol, in the event that the other one is banned. The drug is subject to fewer restrictions because it's used for many non-abortion purposes, including treating stomach ulcers. But the misoprostol-only abortions are also common in other countries, but they have a slightly higher rate of patients requiring follow-up surgery to complete the abortion than the 2 pills used together. Mom, do you believe this will stand, or do you think it'll be overturned?
I have no idea. I don't believe in abortions. And I know, oh gosh, because it's like state regulated now, this is becoming more important, I guess. I don't know.
Do you believe in helping women who have had a miscarriage kind of be healthy after that miscarriage?
State regulated. You know how I feel.
A miscarriage is not an abortion.
Or is it? What do you think a miscarriage is? Where does that rank on your scale of against Jesus?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Why are y'all talking so mean to me today?
What?
A
What does that mean?
miscarriage is not an abortion.
It's a God's abortion.
A miscarriage is your body naturally not allowing the baby to go on, I guess. Like medically,
Right.
something was wrong with your body.
But sometimes you need these medications to like complete the fucking process. Otherwise, you have to go in for medical procedures. And now they are taking this away from women who have miscarriages.
Oh, I thought this was an abortion pill. Like your baby is fine and then you take this and kill the baby.
It can do that too.
Well, if your body naturally aborts a baby in a miscarriage, then you go see your family doctor.
And in some
Why would
states, you go to fucking prison for that.
If you have a miscarriage,
Correct. That's where we're at right now in the good country of America. You can be
And
thrown in fucking prison in some states for having a miscarriage.
I don't. I would like to see that on paper. Could you send that to me?
But I think that this is speaking to a larger point that I don't think a lot of people who claim to be pro-life understand the severity to which we are now held because of these draconian laws. It's not just you can't have an abortion anymore. It's everything under that too. That if you do have a miscarriage that has some kind of complication and you have to go to a doctor to have some kind of procedure to remove the miscarriage, that can be perceived in some states as an abortion, which is illegal in those states, et cetera, et cetera. Just like using this pill. It's the same thing.
Did not know that.
Is Dad still sitting there?
He's right here.
Has he fled? Dad, do you
Come
think
here.
this ban will stand, or do you think it will be overturned?
Explain to him real quick what it is.
All abortions should be banned.
Okay, all abortion should be banned. But this is a pill that, explain what it is to him so he understands.
Well, if it kills the baby, here's all I gotta know.
Gotta know.
You answer this to me, Miss Abortion Critic. Is the baby more innocent than the mother in a rape?
There is no baby.
Oh, there is no baby?
In a rape? What?
I believe in abortion wholeheartedly, and I don't perceive a fetus to be a fucking baby out in the world.
Okay, well then you and I disagree.
Correct.
And you're lucky your grandmother didn't get abortion.
The United States government doesn't consider a fetus a human being either.
Well,
So
there you go.
a-
We got to get rid of the fucking government.
a fetus
Okay.
inside your stomach is not a baby.
Correct.
Oh my God. You don't believe in God either.
You don't believe in gun control, which murders children all around the world that are actually out and about. So I'm confused on your pro-life stance.
I don't believe that gun control is the issue to save the children in the schools. It's security and it's getting rid of mentally ill people. They need help.
Security is not the answer. You saw what happened in Uvalde. Cops don't do shit. The
Guess
security,
what?
they had an entire police
Oh my
force
God.
standing outside.
We're almost done. One way in of that school, that could have helped a lot. Everything locked down, one way in, one way out.
So you're saying now to rebuild every school so that it only
Yes.
has one entrance?
I'm saying the billions of fucking dollars that are going to Ukraine, use it on our schools, our children, make every school safe. Get a security guard that has training, not one that you just pull off the street. Somebody that has training in arms, knows what they're doing. And guess what? If everybody would know that that person is at the front door of a school, they're not going to come in with their guns.
Yeah, they would shoot that person in the head and then kill everyone inside, and those people would have no way to escape the school because there's only one exit.
No, I disagree.
Okay. Well, I disagree with you and agree with myself. Let me
Happy
ask you.
Easter.
Let me ask you this question. Happy Easter.
He
Is it a
isn't.
good idea for governments to be able to ban medication at all? Because basically, if this ban stands, we are now in a world where state governments, potentially even the federal government, if it gets a Republican supermajority, can just start banning all types of medication if they deem them against their God or against their ideology.
Well, that's already happening. There are drugs that we can't even afford for your father in diabetes.
Oh my
and stuff.
God.
It's
And
already
does that
happening.
fucking make you mad? Doesn't that make you mad?
I mean, I guess
Him
the
in the background.
Democrats
No.
want it dead. The Democrats
But you're also
want it
talking
dead
about not being
anyway.
able to afford the drugs. These drugs
They're
are not banned.
Well, they're banned from your insurance coverage, so it's already starting.
But not they're not made illegal.
Where they want to kill old people off.
Uh-huh. They don't want to kill old people off. You guys are
Yes,
cash
they
cows
do.
because you have
Yes.
to keep paying for the drugs forever.
Ha ha ha. No, they want to kill us off.
No, they don't. They want you to keep paying into the system until you die.
Isn't that why there are
That's why they're putting you dumbasses on drugs now.
isn't that why there are ceilings? No, not ceilings. What do you call it? Like in cancer, they'll only pay up to a certain amount because then they don't give a crap. They don't care if you die or not.
Well, no hospital or medical system cares if you die or not, but their job is to keep you alive and infirmed. What's he doing? He's just stomping around, screaming in the background. I can't even hear what he is saying. What's he doing?
We're almost done.
Jesus Christ.
We got
Look.
5 minutes. Get in here.
Well, we have 15 minutes, but
He said, let me know when the I love you part is. I'll be there for
oh
that.
my God. So he's out. He's just out of this episode.
No,
It's just us
he's
three.
coming back. I'll have
All
to make
right.
him
Well,
come back.
he's gonna want to hear this next one. We have
Bob,
one more
this
topic.
next one's good. Get in here. All right. He's coming.
I like how he just walks away. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't
this
fuck,
is a
I'm not
good one.
doing this shit
You-
unless we're talking about putting guns up
He's
people's
retired.
ass. I ain't doing this
He
shit.
can do whatever he wants.
He's
This one you
unfettered
want to
now.
hear. Get in here. God damn.
Is he coming back or what? This is
Are you
absurd.
coming back?
He's just roaming.
It's about transgender.
Yeah, what's he doing?
Get in here.
What's he even doing?
Bob, get in here.
What is he doing?
He went to lay down. He's coming
He's
back.
laying down. I just tell him he can lay down on the couch in the living room. Jesus.
He just left the podcast because he's retired. And
He's
can do
done?
that. He's back. Here he is. Loud
Hey.
selfie. Come here.
Holy shit.
Look at his
Oh.
face. Look at his face. Look at
I would love to, but you have to point the camera toward him.
He's back.
All right. Hi. Okay. the fourth and final topic of today's necessary conversation is about Biden's trans athlete proposal. Thursday of last week, the Biden administration released a proposal that would forbid schools and colleges across the United States from enacting outright bans on transgender athletes' participation in sports. If finalized, the proposal would become enshrined as a provision of Title IX, the landmark genderqueer legislation enacted in 1972. While the proposal is meant to be a step forward for trans athletes and trans rights in general, the language of the proposal is vague enough to allow for interpretation that could lead to discriminatory policies being developed on a school-by-school basis. 16 states currently have bans in effect covering high school interscholastic sports. Some also extend to intramural, club, or college sports. Under the proposal, no school or college that receives federal funding would be allowed to impose a one-size-fits-all policy that categorically bans trans students from playing sports on teams consistent with their gender identity. But the proposal leaves room for schools to develop team eligibility rules that could result in restrictions for trans athletes. Language in the bill points to, in quotes, important educational objectives like fairness and competition and reduction of injury risks to serve as guidelines for individual rules. Of the almost 16 million high school students in the United States, about 300,000 between the ages of 13 and 17 identify as transgender, and about 15% of them play sports, roughly 45,000. Is this proposal good or
Read
bad?
that number again. What was the number?
16 million high school students, about 300,000 between the ages of 13 and 17 identify as transgender, and about 15% of those play sports. So about 45,000, roughly 45,000 transgender high school athletes. Is this a good or bad proposal, Haley?
The ban, a good or bad thing?
No, this proposal that Biden is putting out. He's basically saying you can't categorically ban transgender athletes from sports, but the language of it says, but on a school by school basis, if you want to like look at fairness and competition or reduction of injury, you can make your own eligibility rules.
I mean, I don't like it. I don't agree with it. So, I mean, I guess at face value, he's trying to kind of
it's a
help
very fence riding move.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably not good enough.
Are you okay with like Willow or Harper Lou playing against a guy in soccer that is a trans that was
they would be playing against other
now,
girls and that's fine.
It's a man.
It has a penis.
No, it's a transgendered girl. So I don't give a shit.
Tell me what a transgender girl is like biologically.
I mean, it all depends on, you guys don't believe in allowing transgender reaffirming care, but I do. So a lot of times transgender kids will go through puberty on HRT, like on puberty blockers, and they never reach full maturity, like as the gender that they were born. So I mean, it's all kind of relative, but I don't believe in banning anybody from playing sports that wants to play fucking sports in their category.
Either go play.
If you're a transgender girl, you play fucking girl sports.
Nope. If you were born a girl, you play girl sports. If you were born a boy, you play boy sports.
And if you can't take the competition, get the fuck out of the sport.
Wait a minute, Dad. Do you think that there are transgender women who are lying about being transgender specifically and only to play sports so that they can, so that it can be a guy playing sports?
Fucking percent.
Do you have any examples of that?
Yeah, the fucking guy
swimmer,
from Penn State or wherever, that swimmer
swimmer
guy. He couldn't cut it as a man, so he went to the women's side. And
Okay.
he's breaking records all over the place because he's a man swimming against women.
Mhm.
That's total bullshit.
Why do you care about this?
Coward. He's a fucking coward.
A coward?
Yeah. Instead of manning up and trying to compete with guys his own age, he goes and takes on the women.
And you believe it was cowardly, but the result of it was it became national, if not global news story.
Yeah.
Hate mail.
National fucking news that women can't compete with men. And the motherfucker's mentally ill, by the way.
Why do you care about transgender sports? Why is this issue mean anything to you? Yeah.
Because I have daughters and granddaughters that I don't want to see competing against men.
Okay.
How about, why didn't we bring up the Budweiser Light, Dylan Mulvaney? How about that?
Oh, wait. I read something about this. There were a couple of things that there was just too much happening. There was the Clarence Thomas stuff, which I wanted to ask you guys about too. Do you think that that was cool of him to go to hang out with these rich Republican fundraisers?
Sure.
I didn't see that. I saw
Why not?
Kid Rock.
Because he's a fucking Supreme Court justice.
So what?
And he's getting
I
bought off.
So are the other ones.
All right.
I saw Kid Rock put up a whole bunch of Budweiser Light cans.
Whack it with a M16.
And say "F you, Anheuser-Busch,"
Right.
and that's the way. Yeah, nobody should.
And
be
this is
buying that
because,
now.
if I remember right, it's because Budweiser is now doing an ad campaign with a trans person, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And I will never drink anything from Anheuser-Busch again in my life.
Why?
And they're also
Because they're fucking cowards.
they're also letting,
How are they cowards?
Yeah,
Well, I don't.
They're cowards.
Cowards how? Like
They're
putting your
they're
ass
not
on the
gonna
line
go
and
out
kind
with
of
the
making your
woke
political
bullshit.
stance is the complete
Woke
opposite of being
bullshit.
a coward.
Woke bullshit.
Mhm.
And now they're not going to get a dime from Mr. Bob.
So
Wait a minute.
so
Does
Dylan Mulvaney-
Anheuser-Busch makes Coors?
No, and they never
Oh.
going to get any of my money. No matter if I'm out of Coors, I ain't drinking none of that Budweiser.
You
shit.
think it's okay? Let me ask you both this question. I'm
Please.
very curious. So, do you think it's okay for Dylan, whatever, I don't even know, Mulvaney? I don't even want to say his name.
Guy with a
its name.
tallywhacker?
So
It's like
he
Voldemort to you.
now is transgender to a woman, but do you think that's okay that he now does tampon commercials and sports bra commercials for women? Chad,
Yes. Absolutely.
does
Why
that.
do you care
Yeah.
at all about this? Why are you
Because-
mad about that
because
specifically?
that is woke being pushed in our faces when we
It's
know
not
that
being
that
pushed in
is
your
not
faces.
a woman. That
Don't.
is not a woman.
Who's
This
pushing
is-
it in your face?
This is
He's
what
a
I mean when I
railway
say
retarded
that
piece of
that
shit.
you guys refuse to adapt. You refuse to acknowledge change is happening in the world. Like you just
That-
fucking refuse.
That's sick change.
Like
to me.
transgender men have periods. It's a fucking thing.
Oh,
Who
Good for them.
cares?
Good
Who
for them.
cares?
I don't.
Like why can't we be
First
inclusive
of all,
with
I
our
don't give a
fucking
shit
commercials
about
and our
anybody who's transgendered. I don't give a shit about them.
Yes, you
But
do. You're screaming
you-
about it right now.
You're literally
No.
fucking angered by it.
I want to get rid of them.
So then you do care. That's
No,
nice at
just
least.
want them
But-
gone.
But
Get out of my
why?
world.
How
Get
but
out
how
of
does
my
it
fucking world.
how does it affect you? How does
Get out
any of
my
this affect
fucking
you?
world. We'll have to watch this bullshit on TV.
it's not normal, and y'all are trying to push it down our faces.
What's normal? What's normal?
A boy has a ding dong penis, and a girl has a JJ vagina, and that is normal
And
Why?
changing it is not normal.
because you're born that way. God gave you that.
Some people
yet,
aren't born
I
that
believe
way.
in God.
Some people are born
Happy
with both
Easter.
sets of genitals. Then what do?
I know you've brought this up before. I guess they might have to decide, but they aren't pushed to decide in the 3rd and 4th
It
grade.
ain't relevant.
Nobody does that. You just make this shit up. That's not
Make
a fucking
what up?
thing. Nobody
Make what up?
pushes children to become transgender.
Oh
Yes,
my
they
God.
do.
Yes, they do.
What
Where do you
where
get that
what
information? Newsmax?
I'll get
how
it
many
on-
how many elementary schools are you sitting in and hearing these lessons of transgenderism? Like this
My
isn't
kid
a fucking
every
thing.
night. I see him on TV every night.
How do you feel about plastic? How do you feel about plastic surgery, straightening your teeth, dyeing your hair? How do you feel about all that? Because you weren't fucking born that way. So you have problems with that shit.
Smart ass.
I'm not-
I've done none of that.
I'm not talking about, that's not talking about.
And I don't have
Oh,
any
God.
tattoos.
Ooh. Ooh.
Mom has
Because I
done it all.
wasn't born that way.
Mom did all of it though. Mom's dyed
You
her
gave
hair.
us
Mom has a
braces.
tattoo. Gave
You
us
put us in
braces.
fucking braces.
Yep, that wasn't our choice. That wasn't our
doesn't have
choice.
to
God
do
didn't give me
with
those
your
fucking teeth.
body
He is risen.
physically, like cutting off your ding dong or rearranging your vagina. Would I have
Just
done that to you? Fuck
FYI,
no.
that is not actually.
did. You cut
FYI.
off a piece of my ding dong the day I was born. I had no choice in that.
Oh my
Thank
God.
God.
Oh my God.
What
So
do you
now
want my
you're
God
going
in?
to blame us for that until the day you die?
No, I don't blame anyone for it. I'm simply saying that's what happened.
That
Hello?
was the
Are you there?
medically thing. That was the medically thing to do.
For
The
hygiene.
medically
To
thing
make
to
you
do.
more high, yeah, so that you don't catch diseases and shit.
That is also not accurate. All of these things, they're just like lies that perpetuate over time, and you guys refuse to like acknowledge that new
Yeah.
information exists. New
Yeah.
shit exists.
Well,
Our side's
you know
the
what?
only side that lies. You
I-
guys never lie.
I
You
will-
lie out of your ass every fucking
I
day.
will acknowledge new shit will exist when they're going to be dropping a bomb on Chad, and he better get the fuck out of LA soon.
Who's they?
Oh dear God,
Jesus.
here we go.
Fucking fool.
Now, when you call us dipshits and fliptoids and whatever else, I can buy what Mom said. Maybe it is a little bit of a term of
You,
endearment.
Chad, you
he
tur-
just
okay,
said with
you
malice in his
Fucking
heart.
fool.
You
Fucking
turn this.
fool.
You turn this on. You turn it on us to make us look stupid and
I'm
idiots.
not.
You know who might bomb LA. You know we've talked about this before.
Who?
in other
China?
podcasts.
You are. You might as well get a hold on that one.
You know who we're talking about. Who
Well, I
might
can't hear
bomb
what he's
LA.
saying. Is he's where is he?
Hey, how about this Chinese balloon? That was nothing. Yeah, we need to bring that up next time.
What Chinese balloon that was nothing?
Oh.
The balloon that went across the United States. It
and
was
gathered all
real
all the
time.
intel now.
Real time. It
They
went
have
out.
Is this a new one? I didn't read about this.
Yes.
Oh, of course you didn't.
Oh my God. Yes. Next.
Yeah,
Next.
I
time.
don't think China is a nice country. I think they have malicious intent. I just don't think they're going to drop a nuclear bomb on Los Angeles.
Okay.
Oh,
Hope
okay.
not.
All right. Well, that basically wraps up the show
Love
today.
you,
Thanks,
Chad.
everyone.
I love you, Mary. I love you, Haley.
He's going to
Bye.
lay down now. Bye.
Yes.
Congratulations on your retirement, Dad. I love you too. I love you, Mom. I love you, Haley.
I love you, Dad. I love you, Mom. I love you, Chad. Fuck.
I love you, Chad and Haley. I love you, Bob.
And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Happy Easter, of course. It is
Yep.
that season of forgiveness and understanding. We've been
And
trying to do
remember,
that here.
Jean-Pierre is a pygmy.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. And we'll be back next week to cover even more topics. I have a feeling these episodes are going to get crazier and crazier as we enter this era where Trump is now going to have to go face trial. We've got the presidential campaigns heating up. Everything is going crazy. So we hope you will stay with us for the duration. But again, if you want to send a question to have us answer it, simply send an email to TheNecessaryConversationPod@gmail.com, and we will play the best ones here. Until next week, we will see you then.
Peace out.